Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Chris Witherspoon. You're watching thegrio.com, and I am joined by Kandi Burruss right now. The
Hey.
season 8 of the Atlanta Housewives. I still can't believe 8 seasons, and
I know, right?
it's just so crazy to me.
Who would have known that this show would last this long?
I'm still in shock, but it's getting better. I feel like every season it keeps getting better, so I want 8
Thank
more
you.
seasons, let's just be honest. I want to go to last night. You were on Watch What Happens Live. It was crazy.
It was.
So I have to ask you, what were your thoughts about the comments Vivica Fox made about 50 Cent?
Oh, she almost had me fall up under the chair. Cause honestly, 50 Cent, when I was younger, when he first came out, I used to be like, ooh, he's so fine. And so in my mind, I never would have seen any woman saying that about him. So when she said it, I was like, wait, what? Did I hear you say what you just said? And then she kind of stuck with it. So I didn't know if she was implying that he was gay to be serious, or was she just throwing shade?
Yeah.
Like what?
Was it a step too far? Did she cross the line, you think, or was it all in good fun?
I guess she crossed the line, but at the same time, when somebody is, been in a relationship with somebody before and they have bad blood, people throw daggers at each other all the time.
True.
So.
He came back at her.
I told her he would. On commercial break, I said, "Girl, now you know he's gonna be on you for the next 2 weeks to a month."
But I do want to turn to a more bright and happy, upbeat message or story. Your pregnancy, I think, is such a great thing to capture this season on the show. And also, you're being vulnerable and talking about how you had some issues getting pregnant. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, Todd and I, we did have issues getting pregnant, and that was something I never thought I would have to deal with. But apparently, I had like scar tissue from a previous fibroid surgery or something that was kind of blocking the situation from happening.
Yes.
And so we had to go through IVF treatments to get pregnant, and thank God it worked for us. But I was just like, wow, you just never think that you would have that problem, especially because he and I both, we already have daughters,
Yes.
And so it's just kind of like, in my mind, I just never thought I would have an issue.
Had you considered surrogacy at all?
No, I didn't. You talking about having somebody else carry?
Yeah, I mean, you got the coins for it.
No, I haven't. Well, I haven't. I just kind of feel I wouldn't want my kid to feel like I didn't want to carry them.
Okay.
Now, if I couldn't,
Yes.
yeah, I mean that's fine. But I could, so I did.
Okay. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you have this child on this show, but I think some people might say, oh, this should be something kept private, or, she shouldn't be showing the world her pregnancy. What do you say to skeptics that might say that?
Well, everything we talk about on the show, people always say, why did she say that?
Yeah.
Why does she always, tell too much of her business? I get that all the time. But I kind of feel like if you are not going to be real, then why are you on reality TV? Like, if you're not going to be open, or you trying to hide everything, that's not interesting, and you come off as fake.
Yeah.
We see people all the time that try to hide things, or they don't want to speak on stuff, and when it comes out in public, it's like, oh, whatever. So it's like, I don't feel like you can win for losing. It's like 1 minute it's like, oh, they talk too much, or they tell too much, or the next minute it's like, oh, she's boring, or she's, it's like,
yeah.
Okay, whatever.
And I have to say, last night I got my whole life from Portia and Duke.
Did you now?
And she called herself a sugar mama at one point. And I was like, you know what? All of the housewives, Nene back in the day, Cynthia, it seems, even you guys have all kind of been vocal about being the breadwinners in your households with your men. How'd you move past that stigma of being, quote unquote, a sugar mama? I hate that word, but Portia used it last night, so we're gonna use it.
Yeah, that's funny. I always think that it's funny when people have to say you have to be a sugar mama just because you make more than your man. In this day and age, a lot of women make more in money than their male, counterpart or whatever. So it's just like, just because he doesn't make as much money as you do, it doesn't mean that you're, making it rain on him or something.
Yeah.
It's not that type of party. He's still, for me and Todd is still the man in our relationship. He still does what he's supposed to do as far as for our family and taking care of our family. So I I just had to stop worrying about what people had to say about it and just not care, because people are going to say it anyway just because, they know that for a while now I've made good money or whatever. So they automatically assume I'm this sugar mama that's doggone, patting him down with dollars. Yeah. Come on now. It's not like that.
And I have to ask you about the big bomb that Mallory dropped about Cynthia and Peter's, I guess, bedroom relationship. You were the queen of bedroom, Kandi, of being in touch with your sensuality, if you will.
Yeah.
And Mallory said that Cynthia is no longer physically attracted to Peter, I guess is how she phrased it. Is that a red flag?
Well, this is what I think. To me, when you're having issues or problems, because they start having issues because of the distance in their relationship, because now that he's going to Charlotte so often for his business, when you start having issues and arguing and having problems, that person, you don't even want them to touch you sometimes. You're like, man, get out my face. So I don't know if it's necessarily her really not being attracted to him, or she's just in a situation in her relationship where nothing about him is attractive just because they're having problems. Because everybody feels differently when they're going through stuff.
I can't wait to interview and find out, because I'm curious.
Well, ask her.
I'm gonna ask her. And then I guess my last question is, watching the show, I thought it was amazing, and I feel like the energy this season, the first episode at least, it's a new energy that I haven't seen in a while from you ladies. But I have to ask, without Nene being a part of the show, does it feel weird?
Not at all.
Okay, let me rephrase it, because people have even said that she was such an integral part of the show, and I guess helped the show rate. Do you think she's an integral part of the show, the winning recipe for the show?
See, that's the funny thing. People said that, a lot of people was feeling that way, but this is the way I look at it. The group as a whole is what makes the show, not one person. One person doesn't make the show. So that's why it's an ensemble cast. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people, the ones that are just mainly her fans, they don't get that. I'm not trying to say that she's not good on the show. I'm just saying she's better with the show, if that makes sense. Because it's like, at the end of the day, if it was just about her by herself, her numbers would be, when she had her own shows, would be bigger than Housewives, and they weren't. You get what I'm saying? It's because we as a group together are good. So even like if you look back at past seasons, a lot of people didn't notice for the last couple of years, she really wasn't there as much. A lot of the main drama didn't even involve her a lot of times. Yeah, like last year, the Claudia and her thing, that was whatever. But most of the drama is, Phaedra went through so much with Apollo, or you see different things with all the time with Peter and Cynthia, me and my mom. It's like all these stories together is what makes the show so good. It's not one person's story. And I feel like when one person feels like they're bigger than the group, that's when it's a problem. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay. No,
because
I get it.
Because it's just like, no. Yeah, because, just for example, I'm not saying that Kim felt like she was bigger than the group. I'm not saying that. But, her fans, when Kim was not going to be on the show, people were like, oh, I'm not watching the show anymore. Well, we added more people to the show.
You bring a new audience.
Yeah, you bring a new audience. The show continues to go on because there's so much craziness and drama between the group. And it's not just one person.
That is so true and so well said.
Yeah.
My last question for you, because you can do a spinoff. You're the queen of a good spinoff.
Hey.
This baby's coming in January. Have there been talks about a spinoff, Kandi having a baby? Or?
There's been conversations. Nothing, I can't officially announce anything yet, but it definitely has been conversations.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I think, once again, when people talk about, oh, why does this person get this and why this person gets that, I don't feel like I'm bigger than the group of the Housewives, okay? I feel like I'm great with the group. But then I think my spinoffs end up being great because I have another quote-unquote ensemble cast.
Mama Joyce.
It's another group.
Woo,
it's my mother. It's Todd. It's our kids. It's Carmen.
Yeah.
It's my aunt Bertha. It's Aunt Nora. It's Don Juan. That's a whole nother quote-unquote ensemble. I have a group of people around me that are just as, interesting and crazy and wild as the people on the Housewives. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's why I think I always say the group, because I came from a girl group, and I know how it is when somebody feels like, oh, well, I can leave the group and do my own thing or whatever. And it don't always work that way for you when you think you're going to be better off without the group. But no, you need a good group of people around you to make a reality show works. It's not about one person.
I think also, just in closing, I think you're like with the most relatable housewife. That's what I think for me, and I think that's why people kind of gravitate to your story and want to know like how you were raised and how you're raising your daughter and how you're gonna raise this little boy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't. That's one thing I can't wait to meet this little baby, and I can't wait to see how my baby's personality is going to be, and and how everybody's going to be once the baby gets here. I'm praying that I don't show favoritism, and you won't. One of those things I'm really trying to work on, and it's all of that. I think we got a lot of great things to look forward to.
Okay. Well, Kandi, thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait for the rest of season 8, and I can't wait to see this baby.
Well, thank you.
All right.